Alright, what's up guys? In my walk around video I made on this bike, I talked about getting rid of the fender eliminator kit I had and doing some VF designs or some DIY lights. So I'm gonna try the DIY route, we'll see how it goes. I got rid of my previous fender eliminator. I still have the block off plate on there even though it sticks out a little bit. But I didn't like the naked exposed opening into the undertail section. So I've got these little openings here. It's just like some plastic material, and basically bought some LED strips, gonna try and wire them in there to my blinker wires. And if you see here, this is not sealed. There's a little bit of an opening for some wires to run through. That's what I'm thinking, is that the end of the light will start down here, wrap around, and then the wiring will go up under there. And the way that this is, so this seam under here is pretty hidden, like 99% of the time. So if the wire is too thick or it's not seating very well, or I don't want it to like kind of eat into the wire over time, I can always just cut a little slot for it to go up in there and it'll be hidden anyways. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. So I got my LED strips here. These are the Amazon LED strips I ordered. I'll put the link in the description, but basically they're a decent amount longer than what I need, but the instructions said you can cut them. I don't know if they specify where to cut them, but I think you can just cut them wherever. You can't really tell where the actual lights are. Maybe when you cut the adhesive, I can see where to actually do the cutting, but looks like it. I ordered some resistors too, but it looks like there's already some sort of control or resistor in here already going on. Not exactly sure what this little box is, but it has the 3 wires and it has yellow, white, and black, if that'll focus. And that's power, ground, and I forget what the white one is. I think it might be running light, like if you want these to just be on all the time. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do power and ground. And I think that they're gonna, I haven't tested it yet, but from the Amazon description, they should be the sequential, so it should light up nice and pretty instead of just blinking. Now, one option, took off the other blinkers, so right now there's just the open male connectors for the blinkers under the seat. Originally I thought about splicing off of the, I'll go over here and show you guys the fender eliminator kit that I had. So originally I was going to splice off of these wires. This is the original fender eliminator kit that was on the bike. I was gonna splice off of these, that way these pins would still be usable, and then I would just cut into this wire and wire my lights off of that. I don't really like that idea anymore, just because these wires are already kind of short and I don't want to take all this tape off and cut them up just to tape them back together. I want this, if I ever sell the bike, I want this whole assembly to be nice and clean so that I can just put it back on the bike if I want to. So what I did, I found these connectors on Amazon, these OEM Yamaha blinker connectors. Ordered a pair of them, and basically it's just the connector and then it's the raw wires at the end. So what I'm gonna do is wire, I come back over here to the Amazon LED strips. I'm gonna wire these 3 pins into my connector when it gets here, and then I can essentially have plug and play between my 2 different setups. So if I get tired of the LED strips and I just want to put the other blinkers back on, shouldn't be an issue. I'm a little worried about the strength of this adhesive. It says it's 3M. We'll see how it goes. It's just The plastic in here, I don't know if this will show up on camera. There's just not a lot of contact patch. And it's not like the smoothest material ever. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to use some adhesive on plastic and it just doesn't adhere well just because it's not the best surface. So we'll see how it goes. If anything, can maybe put like a couple dabs of some super glue or something. I don't know. But bike looks really good in the light after washing it. So, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right, so got the lights on. Had my dad help me with some of the wiring. I'll show you guys what they look like in the daytime and also kind of in the dark, and then talk about some stuff I would have maybe done differently and just some disclaimers about doing this way. And then after that, I'll take the seat off and show you guys the wiring and how it's kind of set up. But we'll go show you the hazards first. That's hazards. During the daytime, there was the option of, hold on, I'm trying to get my camera. There we go. There's the option of yellow sequential lights like this, or just red blinking. I chose the yellow, but it's not going to be hard to switch back if I want to switch back. So that's hazards. This is left blinker, what it looks like. Honestly, they're brighter than I thought for daytime. And this is right blinker. And you can kind of see it's visible from the side as well, up until about right here. I could have stuck the adhesive closer to the edge if I wanted them fully visible from right here, you know, but you can barely see it right there. At nighttime, you'd probably be able to see it pretty well from the side. So let me turn this off and then talk about my biggest complaint or regret, I guess. And that's, if you look here, you can see the LED strips obviously, but you can also see the white on the LED strips. That's just part of it. If you look here, hopefully there's not too much background noise with all the cars, main road, but you can see the edge of the, if it'll focus, I don't know if it will. The edge of the LED strip is the actual silicone where the light pops out, and then the rest of it has this little section of like white tape, or I don't know what it is, but you can't peel it off. And my biggest complaint is that you can see that white, those white pieces. It's not really a big deal. You can notice it more in the daytime than at night. And if you're 10 feet back, you know, it really doesn't even change the look of the tail section. But I thought about trying to do some Sharpie or like even like nail polish, or I don't know, anything to cover up that white section and make it black. I think it would blend in with the tail section a whole lot more and look a lot better. But yeah, I'll show you guys. Let me get the seat off and I'll show you guys how we wired this up, and how you can do the same. All right, I got the seat off. I'll show you guys how this is wired up. So I didn't end up cutting this section in here. You can see there, I just stuck the wire in between those two little pieces where this piece kind of rests on top of this. There's a little clip that goes in there, and it's just literally underneath the clip on each side. The little wiring, not harness, but yeah, the wires that are wrapped in this little plastic or this weave. Anyways, they kind of wrap around from each side. You can see there the one from the other side coming in there, and I have them underneath the subframe bolts, and then they come back out here. Now, if you remember from my other video when I showed the LEDs, they had these little blocks the control pieces. Resistors were not needed, so I ended up just being able to wire directly. Now, what made this so easy and doable, I bought these Yamaha OEM connectors that I showed you. So all I did was unplug the stock blinkers. I bought these, I think it's the female clip that I ended up buying. Anyways, I wired the LED strips, 2 wires directly onto these OEM clips that I bought. Now that was the hardest part of this whole thing, and it really wasn't that difficult. This one, the connection, where's the connection? It's right in here. It's heat shrunk. This one you can get a little bit better idea of what's going on. Basically, you have 3 wires coming off the LED strips. One is ground, one is yellow sequential turn signals, and then one is just blinking red, or just straight red. So you have the option of, you have a lot of options if you want to integrate, waiting for the cars to pass. You have a lot of options if you want to integrate the brake light as well. I just wanted blinkers, so it was really straightforward. You just pick whether you want sequential yellow or blinking red as your blinkers. I chose the yellow, and I want to say it was the yellow wire. If you wanted blinking red, you just would have picked the white instead of the yellow. But all you do is you connect your ground, so that's the black, I think the instructions will say, and then you get a little connector like this from the hardware store. It's just a little metal piece that acts as a conductor. You stick both ends of your stripped wire in there. You have to strip the wire from the connectors that you buy, the Yamaha connectors in here, and then you just connect it, heat shrink it if you want, and then you're good to go. So pretty straightforward. I said the hardest part was connecting the wires. It's not. There's a ton of YouTube videos on how to do that, if you don't know how. The hardest part was actually getting the adhesive to stick to these tail sections. That was the difficult part. It came out fairly well, not as well as I would have liked. If you see here, they're not sitting completely flat in each of their respective sides. This one on the right is a little, I guess left is a little better than this side, but they don't stay completely flat, and that's why you kind of see these little white strips kind of poking up in the back. So, but overall I'm really happy with it. I got cut off there, but at night it looks really good, and I think overall I'm pretty happy with it. And again, this cost me, I'll put the link in the description for the parts. This cost me 30 bucks total, maybe. And the kit online is 160 bucks. So money well spent, if you ask me. If you're like me and you want to spend a few hours to DIY something and save some money, then I think this is definitely worth it. Again, I'll put the links to all the parts. You really only need 2 parts from Amazon, and that's the LED strips and the actual Yamaha connectors. You can do this with different LEDs if you don't want to use the strips that I used. There was a lot of them that were really similar that I was looking at. But yeah, other than that, all you'll need is just some tools to strip the wire and some wire connectors that you can buy from any hardware store, really. Let me know if you guys have any questions. All right, sun is setting. Pulled the bike back out to see what it looks like at night. Do left blinker. And from the side. Do right. And we'll do hazards. So you can still kind of see the white pieces from the LED strips, and they're a little guess bulkier is the word. Bulkier than I would have liked, but overall, pretty happy with it. So, there we go.